dot on a massive world map. He spoke with pride and satisfaction. The room remained silent. No one interrupted. No one challenged him. Then the event host walked onto the stage and announced the next part of the summit. A multinational military competition. Not words, not speeches. Actioned elite teams would be tested in survival, rescue, endurance, combat, and strategy. It would not be about pride. It would be about proof. The general laughed loudly when he heard this. He turned slightly toward the Filipino delegation and said in a voice meant to humiliate them, "Let us see what the Filipinos can do, if they can do anything at all." 8 Filipino Special Forces soldiers stood up. They were lean, they were quiet, they were calm. There was no fear in their eyes. Captain Reyes walked at the front. His face showed no anger, only focus. Behind him, his men followed without a word. Then the Chinese team stepped forward. They were taller, heavier, more muscular. They carried themselves with visible pride and superiority. The crowd felt the tension immediately. Everyone expected one side to dominate and the other to fall apart. The first test was jungle survival. Helicopters dropped both teams into a dense, unforgiving forest. Each soldier was given only a knife and a simple map. The environment was thick, wet, and confusing. Many soldiers from different teams panicked the moment they touched the ground. Some shouted, some ran, some argued about directions, but the Filipino team did not move right away. Captain Reyes raised his hand and everyone froze. He placed his hand on the ground, listened to the wind, studied the trees and felt the air. Then he nodded. The team moved. They chose a location quickly. They built shelter with speed and precision. They created fire using dry wood and bamboo. They found clean water. They created traps. Every movement was calculated. No wasted energy, no panic, no noise. They moved like the forest was their natural home. Meanwhile, the Chinese team struggled. They walked in circles. They argued loudly. One soldier fell into thick mud. Another froze in fear after seeing a snake. They burned energy and time. When extraction time came, the Filipino team walked out clean and calm. The Chinese team looked exhausted and disoriented. For the first time, the general's confidence cracked. The second test was a rescue operation. A dummy hostage was placed inside a hut surrounded by sensors. The goal was simple but difficult. Enter, rescue, and exit without triggering alarms. The Chinese team rushed in loudly. Branches snapped, twigs broke. The moment they crossed a sensor, alarms exploded through the area, and lights began flashing. Failure. Then the Filipino team moved. Captain Reyes lifted 2 fingers. 2 soldiers climbed trees silently. 2 moved through the grass so slowly they looked like shadows. No talking, no noise, only hand signals. They reached the hut. They cut the ropes quietly. They lifted the hostage. They exited without setting off a single alarm. No sound, no lights, no mistakes. Judges stared in disbelief. The audience began clapping slowly at first, then louder. The third test was endurance. A brutal long-distance run, carrying heavy-weighted bags over rough terrain. Some soldiers sprinted and burned out quickly. Others collapsed halfway. Breathing became painful. Legs shook, sweat-covered faces. The Filipino team ran with steady rhythm. Not fast, not slow. Balanced, controlled. This kind of pain was familiar to them. They grew up walking long distances, carrying weight, working through heat and rain. Then rain started to fall. The path turned into mud. The ground became slippery. The Chinese team began to panic. One twisted his ankle. Another dropped his bag and refused to pick it up. Frustration spread. The Filipino team moved faster. Rain energized them, mud strengthened them. One by one, they crossed the finish line first. The crowd erupted. People stood and clapped wildly. The next test was hand-to-hand combat. No weapons, no tricks, only skill. The Chinese team sent in their biggest fighter first. He entered the ring full of confidence. His muscles flexed as he stepped forward. The Filipino fighter was smaller but calm. His eyes were cold and focused. The whistle blew. The Chinese fighter charged. The Filipino waited. At the last second, he dodged, struck a pressure point and dropped him to the ground. Silence, then explosion of cheers. One by one, each fight ended the same way. The Filipinos used timing, balance, speed, and discipline. The Chinese team lost every round. The final test was battlefield strategy. a simulated war zone with drones, enemy units, and live tactical maps. The Chinese team sent all their men forward with brute force. They walked directly into traps. Their communication broke down. They lost direction. Their plan collapsed. Captain Reyes gathered his men calmly. He divided them into small teams. They moved through cover. They used timing and weather. They avoided traps. They completed the objective with precision. The hall exploded with applause. The audience stood. Cameras flashed everywhere. At the award ceremony, reporters pushed forward. One asked Captain Reyes about the insult made earlier. He simply said, "We don't fight to show off. We fight to protect. And when we fight for the people we love, we do not quit." The room fell silent again, but this time in respect. A week later, the Chinese general asked to meet Captain Reyes privately. In a small room with no cameras, he admitted he had judged wrongly. He asked how the Filipino soldiers stayed calm and strong. Captain Reyes replied, "Purpose is stronger than pride. Soldiers who fight for others cannot be broken." The general saluted him. Reyes saluted back. The story traveled around the world. It became a symbol of discipline over ego, purpose over pride, and heart over size.